Hey, this is Chris from Rekkid Talk, and so I'm doing my first ABBA video. So what's going on is that I started doing this a couple weeks ago. Never really intended for it to be a series, but I think I'm going to do it as a series. So I did my first Beatles video when I won old Beatlemania fan David's contest, and I got that sealed Beatles 65 that I opened. Then more recently, when Rob Walker in Manchester, his unfortunate injury, I made my first The Jam video. So I streamed a Jam album that I'd never heard before and talked about it. And so I'm going to kind of pick, I'm going to planning on doing this once a week for until I get bored with the idea of I'm going to pick a band, probably not somebody I follow a lot. Maybe I've got physical format, maybe I'm streaming it, and I'll talk about one of their records that I really haven't heard before. And so, why I'm doing ABBA, Richard McCook had his contest, and part of his contest was you were supposed to talk about bands that you felt you only needed a compilation for, and so I came up with ABBA. I have their Greatest Hits Volume 1 on vinyl, as you can see. I have ABBA Gold on as a download on MP3 files, and in Richard happens to be a big ABBA fan, so I kind of talked crap about ABBA. I said you only needed comps; they're like a guilty pleasures band, and of course he disagreed with my take on them, and so I decided I would actually go and listen to a full ABBA album rather than a compilation. I chose ABBA the album, which was released in December 1977, although it wasn't released in the UK until early 1978. The pressing plants in the UK couldn't keep up with demand. So the two hits that I know from that album are Take a Chance on Me, which was a number 3 single in the US. I think only Dancing Queen ever. I think that was the only number 1 hit ABBA ever had in the United States, although they had tons elsewhere. Name of the Game reached number 12 in the US. The album made it to number 14 in the US, so that was their highest charting album, not including the very recent one, Voyage, which made it to number 2 in the US. They obviously had number 1 hits in England and Scandinavia and much of Europe and many other parts of the world. The U.S. was actually not one of their biggest regions. So, streamed it on TIDAL. And so, Eagle, the lead-off song, very glossy. It was a single and sort of a modest hit in Europe. I don't think it was released as a single in the U.S. I did like this song. I would say it's probably about my second favorite on the album. Take a Chance on Me, which is a very well-known, heavily played. I am assuming if you're a big ABBA fan, you may think of it as an overplayed song. But it's still, based on this listen of the album, I'm still going to say it's the best song on this record. It's probably a top 3 ABBA song for me, of course, of the ABBA songs I've heard. Probably along with Dancing Queen and Waterloo. Not necessarily making any edgy choices there. Awesome pop. This is what I want from ABBA. I'm probably being pretty normie in terms of what I want from ABBA. The third song on side 1, One Man, One Woman. I found this to kind of be a pretty sappy ballad. Not the kind of song that's for me. The Name of the Game, the last song on the first side. Even though I'm streaming, I'm pretending like there are sides. This song was okay. Again, this was something that had charted in the U.S. I did like the song Eagle better. I don't find it to be as catchy as a lot of the other ABBA singles. It's on that ABBA Gold compilation. It kind of gets lost in the mix for my personal taste with some of the more catchy songs. It's not really an earworm for me. It's not one of those songs you're going to catch yourself humming, or at least I don't. Then we listened to the second side. I don't think I'd ever heard any of the songs on the second side before. Move On, the first song. I'm going to say this was my least favorite song on the album. don't really want to hear one of the dudes, Bjorn or Benny, speaking over some waltzy music. I mean, eventually the ladies did sing, which is a little bit better, but this is another song that's not for me at all. The second song, Hole in Your Soul, this is more kind of a pop rocker. I like this song. It's probably the third best for me on the album after Take a Chance on Me and Eagle. And I don't know if Richard's ever going to watch this video, but if Richard or somebody else who's a big ABBA fan, do they have songs like this on some of their other albums? Because, I mean, I like Hole in Your Soul better than The Name of the Game. And then the final three songs were all listed as The Girl with the Golden Hair, 3 scenes from a mini musical. Thank You for the Music, which apparently was on the same 45 as Eagle, which was released in Europe. It's better than those 2 sappy songs that I talked about earlier, but not a terribly memorable song for me. The second one as well, I Wonder, kind of boring. I don't think I'm really going to remember it. The last song on the album, I'm a Marionette, was my favorite of those 3 mini musical songs. It's pretty theatrical, but I mean, it's ABBA. We want them to be kind of theatrical. If they're a bit overblown, it's fine. You kind of get drawn in with the story about the marionette, and you've got some guitar, and you've got the strings, and so, I mean, probably about my 4th favorite song on the record, and so kind of Take a Chance on Me is still going to be what I think is the best by quite a lot on this record. It was cool to hear the 3 songs, Eagle, Hole in Your Soul, and I'm a Marionette. I'll be honest, I still don't think I'm going to be going out and buying ABBA albums to build onto the collection. But it is kind of cool to know that there probably are some tracks that are better than at least some of the songs that are on the compilations. So, Richard, I liked some of the songs on the album. Some of the songs I didn't. And so next week, I'm going to give a hint. I'm not going to say what band I'm doing next week. But next week is going to be something that would have something to do with Rachel, the Music Man. We'll tell you who the band is next week.